All right, so now I'm going to, I should not hear that marble. Thank you. All right, so it has been about a month since I've seen you because of break. But in order to compensate for that, to make up for that, Henry, I'm over here. Yeah, it's playing, it's recording everything you're doing right now. So, we are going to start by looking at what we did last time, because I can't ask you to do something today and try to dig back into your brain about what your work looked like last time. So today, your job is going to be to collaborate as a team to construct a ramp that meets 3 goals. In the past, I told you what goals to meet, right? Do you remember, think way back when we constructed our ramps, what those goals were? Does anybody remember? Adriana?
Make it at least have a curve and make it work.
Okay, so it had to work. What does it mean when a ramp works? Yes?
It goes all the way to the end of the ramp and it goes through all the bends without any extra power.
And there's a bend, so no extra power, meaning I didn't blow in it, I didn't push it, right? And so it had to have a bend, it had to end in a specific place so the balls weren't bouncing everywhere. And the ball needed to move on its own. Today you're going to have another series of goals, but I want you to look at work you already did. Okay, so we're going to use what we already know and transfer that learning to today. So let's look at what we built last time. Hopefully it should come up. And it will.
What's up, YouTube? Yay.
So,
what is it?
I'm going to tell you, oh man.
Oh, that's me.
I'm trying to pause it for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, when we watch these videos, I want our focus not to be on our bodies, but on our ramps. What was working well in people's groups? Was it meeting the goals where we could improve? What goals you want to set for today? Henry? These videos are specifically for this class, okay? So they're set up for Think Tank, yes. Do you mind hitting the lights for me? So while it might be, we are going to see ourselves, and it's always interesting to see yourself on camera, the loudest person there will be my voice. So let's just watch and focus on your ramps, and I want to move this. There we go.
Oh, that's me.
Look,
So move it a little bit. Just careful, careful. I know. There you go. Why don't you test it? Looks like a good phase to test to see if it works. You go back to your roof. You can only use your own materials.
all right, let's watch.
Tell me about what yours does, Kanye.
Watch
Any more
and
specifics
listen.
than do this?
All right, so that was one. Okay, I'm seeing if the second one comes up. I know. We can always see Miss Ford's son pop up on YouTube next. All right. So here's the next video of what we built. Oh, this is the other team. All right, well, I guess you're going to get to see what they built. I know.
What does the ramp
So now you get some other ideas.
I'm stealing that out of you.
change the ramp
What?
to give it more energy?
What?
What did you change? How is it getting more energy? But how is it getting more energy? Are you pushing it? Are you blowing on it? Did you build something different? What did you change? You made the ramp wider. What else? Okay, so you built it higher and your ramp is wider, which you noticed made a difference? It's an interesting finding.
Did I see this?
All right.
Yeah.
So you have now seen
I want to see
2.
Ronnie.
Okay, you can see Ronnie another time. Get the mic for me, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, you watched some of what you built last time. You didn't see everybody's work, but you saw and you saw what the other class built. Your job today is to take those ideas and use what you job is to look up at these and think as a team. I'll give you 1 minute. Do you want to make the ball roll farther, faster, knock down a series of blocks, turn corners, or end in a specific location? Talk to each other and decide. I will bring you a paper to write down your goals.
Yeah, like, I have a good idea. Like, we could have it down to these two, and then it will knock it down and make a different ramp.
Talk about it.
Yeah, we need a lot of, and we would have to make it, no, see look, we would have to make it all,
You want to write down your goals, and I want that to be
we have 2 goals.
Milo, we can't start yet. Farther and faster.
Make some blocks drop down. What about faster?
Oh, she loves the idea of knocking down.
That we can make up like
Good, guys. Listen to her idea. You guys have it all written down? After 3 hours of the ping pong balls, that sound is like fingernails on a chalkboard. All right, very quickly, I want to hear team's goals, and then you're going to have, well, you guys did such a great job. You're going to actually have 18 minutes of building time, because at the end today, we're going to step back and look at each other's designs and share what went well and what didn't go well and our goals. Group 5, what goals is your ramp going to meet
Make the
today?
ball go faster. Make the ball go farther.
And? Okay, thank you. Table 2, what are your goals that you have written down?
Make it end in a certain location. Make some blocks knock down. Farther roll, and that's all.
That's fine. By the way, you don't need a very elaborate, you can't start yet, Kanye. You don't need a very elaborate design. Table 1, if you're talking over others, you're not being respectful of their teams. Table 1.
We want to make the ball roll a little faster and farther, and we want to make it turn in like zigzags, and well, basically all of them.
So you're going to attempt to have a ramp that meets all of that criteria.
Except for knock down a series of blocks.
Okay, 1 block, not a series. Table 3.
Well, we wanted to make the ball knock down a series of blocks
Mm-hmm.
and make the ball roll faster.
Okay, excellent. All right, please, and table 4, I'm sorry. Oh, look at this. I thought you, it's okay. Yeah. Thank you, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a resource today that you didn't have last time. Henry, that's your warning. So now we're down to 16 minutes of building time. Please put your goals to the side. if your ramp and your tracks in your ramp make a difference. I've provided you a diagram that shows 3 different types of tracks. You can choose to test these out on your ramp. On the back side, there are some questions to ask as you're doing this. If yours keeps falling down, what might be a question that you would ask your team? Milo, if yours keeps falling down, what might be a question you'd ask your team?
Well, actually, we don't have one of those reports.
I know. I'll give you one. But if your ramp kept falling down, what might you ask your team?
How could we make this more sturdy?
Thank you. How could you make this more sturdy or more stable? If your ball was not moving, what could you ask your team?
Can we make a ramp like at the top so it can?
Can we make a ramp at the top so it can come down? What about that?
So, because you said no push, like no blow and nothing. So if you take a ramp, like the first one up there, it probably it'll go down by itself.
I'm not going to tell you I actually took off what each of these ramps does to the motion of the ball because I want you to experiment with it, but you can. Make sure you're asking each other questions and listening to each other's ideas. You're probably now going to have about 15 minutes. These are other questions you can ask each other. Is our ramp helping us meet our goals? How can we improve it? Which parts of the ramp are the weakest? Right? What can we do to make them more stable? And very importantly to collaboration is everyone's ideas being heard. So you have your goals. I'm going to pull up my egg timer and put 15 minutes on the clock because I talked a little bit longer. It's okay if you focus on your work, that happens. Remember, you're going to persevere through this. Use what you already know, and you may begin. Okay, so you're going to make it in a certain location, make some blocks, knock down, and roll farther than you had last time. Well, that's right, you used the bin last time, I forgot about that. Right now, you're each setting up different sections.
Oh, yeah, we actually have to do one with them.
No, she's actually started trying to make something that works.
But we're going to build it off of this.
So last time, think way back, when you built it off of that, what was the problem you had for almost the entire prototype?
So many. Like stand it up on.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I remember that it fell over every single second. So why don't you start by not using that bin? I know, it's going to kill you, but how about you try to meet your goals with the time provided, and then if you... Alright, let's try it. Why don't we work off of Clara's idea? Who wants to be the goal holder?
I have a good idea. Maybe we could do this, only we could,
Ooh, I heard some positive words and voice.
like this.
Okay. You want to do
Like
this?
this. And then,
So, why don't you do this?
yes, but we have a lot. And then after that, we could kind of it could be like this. And then the ball can knock it down. We have to put that down farther. Yeah, I'm just giving you. Wait, that was the end.
ball, and sometimes you need an extra set.
It works.
No, we can't make it go up. That doesn't
Make the ball, knock down series blocks, make the ball work the other way.
You're gonna have it turn.
Why don't these flat tracks the best option?
Probably cool with the side.
And Henry has an idea. I think so when you change the block, so Adrian right now has flat tracks there. Are you saying
Turn this down and make a pass here, and then it will like turn. It will be like. That's so short. Why? Then we can move it over here.
Alright, hold check, hold check.
Here.
What are you gonna need?
See if it's gonna go farther. That can't be
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicholas, look at this.
We're gonna need to make it higher.
Okay, so you think that's a design change you could make?
Guys.
Garrett has a thought. Whatever you're doing. So perhaps you should try to figure out a way to separate it. If you look at the design sheet, you don't see them all this close. You see actually steps separated and block down. There's one ramp per group.
Yeah, we're gonna add time.
No, we're not. It's too far away. Yeah, we are really far away.
You want to test this, and then I think you have an option to see what you think works better. Let's test it and see what you think. Ah, so they're too sharp. It's not going around.
Derek, if that doesn't turn out so well, we're gonna every block. We can do like walls when it's zigzag.
You could.
This will keep it balanced.
So, would you like me to
Alright, this will be the last one.
design change to make? Are you willing for me to show you the design change? Alright, ready? I'm going to put this back. I'm going to take this.
Then we're gonna make this little thing.
And I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to move this here.
We're gonna need to make it wider so that
This here. Oh no. Watch.
that fell down and stayed. I think that would be like.
Try this.
Wait, why do we need it right there?
Now, and I'm going to move this here.
Starts right here.
So, I've taken
Well,
your idea.
why not make it
But I've changed something. I've expanded it. I want to show you something.
You're using pretty much.
If you were to try it, the same exact thing,
Alright.
and putting the tracks down this, I wonder what the difference is. Go ahead and try putting it on.
Alright, I cannot. One of those rows.
Everybody,
What is that?
does it slide as much? No.
Hey!
Is the ball going? So now is that one of your goals? Is the ball going?
Let's test it now.
Try it.
Oh, God. Maybe if you turn it.
What are the weakest parts of your design, Raina? So it's too skinny, and what happens when it's too skinny?
It will just go on.
Okay. So there seems to be a right width of the tracks. What about you guys?
I'm not making this one.
Are you standing here?
No, he's helping us.
Are you going to be able to?
Let's try that.
Might you have two entry points to one finished location? Uno and dos? Perhaps this one can go to that direction, this one
Ooh,
can go that
yeah,
direction.
this could be the starting and turn.
Might you still use your bin, but in a different way?
And then it would go, and then that. Wait, two balls, like this. No, we can't just end there because we can't just end there because we're not. It's not going. Once we go here, we can't. No, I guess we can't.
If you stop shaking the trigger,
So what I see, I asked her a question, and that way I said, okay, what would you do?
Let's try it.
And that would be you can ask her.
Wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. No, we need to start. And this is like.
So how about
These
that?
are fat.
Let's do that. I would like to
Here we go. Okay, let's try it.
It's too skinny.
No. It's yes. No.
Yes.
No. 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 Why are you saying no? You should agree to each other. No. No, it's falling over and over. No. No. Don't shake the table.
because
I'm
right now,
kidding.
Gravity's pulling.
We're gonna have to go with Derek's here.
yeah,
Yeah, I love your Gary. Yeah, actually, it's really cool. Let's use it. He's the only one taking it. You're like our hero. No, this is ours. I love him. I'm gonna win this. Guys, no.
So, oh gosh, hold on. Alright, let's see.
Why can't we just use it? Why can't we just use it? Like this. He's the only person who
Alright, careful. Stop yelling. Start listening.
They want to use his, but we didn't do it. No, I'm not helping. I want to finish. We're making two different Let's make this one. Say no. Garrett's the only one who made it. No, we can finish it. Look how sturdy that is. Look. We have enough blocks. Don't take it from this one. You can use these. You can use these.
Are the vendors doing their own?
Alright, you're done. Thank you.
So like you having to manage everything.
Yeah, it's that the work right now is organizing
Do that.
for them. Right. Because
Yeah, and you're still working on yours.
so right now there's just about 25 organizations that are funding for that.
Because you didn't make it. Garrett made that.
All these violin lessons.
Just because you put down one piece. No,
Yeah, I mean,
you haven't put down a single piece. Yes, I have. Wait, Garrett, are you done? Let's make it like a big.
Miss Patterson, will you do
Do you want me to do that, Garrett?
Miss Patterson, will you do
Yay, if you put down one piece. No, I didn't.
Miss Patterson, will you do what
Alright, good. Put down two pieces. Oh my god. Why are you like. Well, you're.
okay.
Alright.
Stop walking over pieces.
It knocked down a single block.
Yours is not hogging the pieces.
Guys, 2
You're using
minutes.
a lot of blocks.
Jumping around, shakes the trailer, knocking the stuff down.
He's
People got
making
upset.
all these stairways. We have.
I know, you're almost, are you excited because you're almost at your goals? That's good. Alright, let's see.
Yeah.
Ah, Nicola. Yeah. Alright, what was your goal?
Okay, so we made this. Garrett made this. So I helped. You put down two.
Be careful, right now your body's keep hitting this. So let's hear about this right now.
So what happened is he did this part and then I did like this part.
It's okay.
And this is how it works. Because what happened is that he was making it. Alright,
does nothing but ever improve.
Okay, I'll jump over here. We need to learn how to put these all together. We can't put them all together. Yes, you can. We're just gonna have to put these on. I'm sorry. 16. We're trying to make it thin so we can get.
That's a bit too narrow. That's a bit too narrow.
Okay, I think yeah. Alright, good. Yeah, let's just make it into one big track. No, you don't. If we make it into one big track, and we can do stuff like this. Yeah. And then you have to build it the way they built
You
it.
can hear me. Take your hands away from your ramp. Put them on your hips. Put my shoulders. Put them somewhere where you're not touching anything. Okay. I want us to carefully stand up and step away so that we can see all the tables. Some people's stuff has just all fallen down, so it's okay if it's just a pile, because that's part of the process. Step back so you can see everybody's work. Kind of come around. It's okay if it's falling down. So, I want us to look at what design factors worked and if any group was able to meet all of their goals. Now, right now, some people's stuff's falling down, as understandable. Raise your hand if your group met all of your goals. It's hard. It's hard, right? Almost. What was the most difficult part? So there's two groups who are still working, so those groups will not get to share right now. It's not fair. Then stop touching it. What worked, group one? And I need all eyes and ears on group one to hear about what worked for them.
Well, the ramp really worked because there was like a grip on the incline of the ramp.
So on the incline there was a grip. The pieces were not sliding.
Yeah.
Okay. Teams, I'm going to ask them to show their ramp. That means you should have already been paying attention. So you shouldn't need to move around actually to see it, because you should already be able to. So will you just show us what your ramp does, please?
Three, two, one.
So close. So it's okay. Failure points teach us what to improve. So you wanted a high ramp with a zigzag going straight, knocking down one block and then falling into the big. You certainly got something. You got a going straight portion and you got one zigzag. There's still more design factors to work on. Another group.
As soon as we got hit the zigzag, the blocks either move apart or the ball either jumps over the block rail.
So if you had another design time, you would probably focus on which portion of your design?
The zigzag.
The zigzag. All right, I'm over at this group now. Move your bodies carefully. That means don't touch their chairs, don't touch their tables, don't touch each other, but move around carefully to
Yeah.
So if anybody runs over or runs or bumps into someone, it wouldn't be fair to their space. So this team, what were your goals? And Samantha, you are leaning on their table. Please don't.
Our goal was to make the ball go faster.
No, farther.
Farther.
Mm-hmm.
Make it in a certain place and make it knock down some blocks.
All right, so let's watch what happens. Kanye, please don't lean on their table. Kanye, please don't. Kanye.
Well, actually, if we take
Let's take the
this
tunnel
off.
off and try it one more time.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, so close. So if you were to have another 20 minutes to work on your design, what portion of your design would you work on, Clara? What part of this do you think needs the most focus? Farther. And so you'd be, where does it stop?
It stops right here,
Which is the,
curve. So we could have put it. It was kind of like a very emergency because we were running out of time, and we were trying to get this really fast, and
Right.
so the last thing we could do before we ran out of time was close this up and put the block on.
raise your hand if your team, the most difficult portion was the turn. Team 1, team 2. All right, we're going to walk over to team 3. Careful, careful. I know, don't touch theirs. Okay, team 3, and I love that you just gave her a compliment on their ramp ideas. All right, tell us about your goals, group 3.
Well, our goals was to be faster and make a ball.
I couldn't hear you because some people were talking. Can you read your goals again, please?
To make the ball knock down a series of blocks and make the ball go faster. It did.
And by the way, everybody, I saw those things happen. This was your redesign that was rushed, right?
Yeah.
So
we had like no time.
exactly. So what was the strongest part of your design initially? Henry, what was
Here.
the initial incline, the beginning?
And then it made it to here, and then it started falling. Yeah, and then it made it to here, and then we were having trouble with the knock something down because we always had it too close, so it would stop. So it wasn't really.
So the knocking down portion would be an area you'd focus on?
Yeah, because if you try putting it like this, it would knock down and the ball would stop.
Oh, got it.
So,
All right, so one thing I'm hearing is raise your hand if your team could have used another building period of time to improve on areas. Yeah. I think so. Now let's carefully move over to table 5. Carefully. You can each test it. Don't touch their work. Don't touch their work, please. All right, team. Ramel and Kanya, your goals. Remind us of your goals. Remind us of your goals, please.
Make the ball move faster, make the ball move farther, make the ball in specific location, and make the ball turn.
So a lot of goals. First of all, it looks very stable to me, so I would say that's a plus of your design. But let's check out how it works. So what goals did you meet with your design?
Made it go a little bit farther and in the corner.
Okay, again, we have a team where it's having trouble on the corners, whether it was a little zigzag or a big corner. What did this team and that team have in common with their corner?
Who?
This team too, the one who came from. Yeah?
But we
Was it
made off
close together? We're not over there yet.
We
Right.
made off
Right.
Because we was, at first we had like, remember last time we made like it was like four big,
Nicola.
it was like 4 big rows.
Mm-hmm.
But it only went through this one.
And here, in order for it to keep moving around here, it needs to be moving very quickly. It needs to have a lot of force, energy.
And when we tried the thing that like that
And it
thing-
doesn't have enough energy from there.
When
Yep.
we tried this little thing right there on this, it wasn't work. But when he set it on here, it went all the way down.
All right, and last group over here. This group actually had a number of designs that they kept falling. We're just gonna look. I actually do want us to look at this very small design because this is one of the edge tracks. And if the goals here are to keep the ball moving, go zigzag, and knock something down in a specific place, let's see if it does it. Ladies and gentlemen, is this a super duper crazy ramp?
No.
Does it meet a bunch of goals? So when you think about your design, you don't need to make it, please keep your hands to yourself, you don't need to make it super complex. It can be simple and still be cool. I want you to go ahead and have a seat at your desk. Listen carefully. Your challenge, I have something very important to show you. I need you to clean up your blocks as quietly as possible and eyes up here. Okay, got I know it is the ski trip. However, if you guys get back in time, please stop for that. I know. The expo's from 6 to 7:30. I want to tell you what you can do if you come. It is free, and there's lots of free stuff being given away. We're going to have this woman here. She will have 2 hawks and an owl with her, Garrett. Also, if you've ever wanted to use night vision goggles, make a bird feeder, learn about neurons in your body, get up close with live birds of prey, become a beekeeper, use a 3D printer, use this telescope. This is a 3D printer. Hold aquatic wildlife, become an argonist, explore water and submersibles, Nicola, magnets. All of these things, this, believe it or not, is a 3D printer. The gentleman coming is a rocket scientist. You may have met him a few years ago. He designs now 3D printers. He's going to make a model spaceship during the show and then give it away during the raffle to a lucky student. He actually is a physicist. So we have many, 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 many organizations coming. Please, if you go on the ski trip and you get back by 7:30 and it comes here, consider taking your tired self over. If not, just to look around. If you're still skiing and you missed it this year, I'll show you lots of pictures. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is recess and lunchtime, but my room looks like it got turned over on top of itself. I'm going to ask each group to kind of straighten their table, push in their chairs, and line up. I know, you can, yeah.
Because I love science.
I know, it's gonna be awesome. That's somebody's science project.
Luckily, I have a really good picture. I mean, I have. You can make a better thing if you want. It's not working to get out. You can just put foam in it and make it that big. Ooh, that's bad.
All right, honey, please go. Go, 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 go.
Cool.
I want everybody in a silent line, and then I'll ask who's going where. But I need a silent line. Honey and Ramel, you're not in a silent line. Behind me. In a silent line. You can have either line unless you can show everybody what a silent line is. Fourth graders, please come get into a silent single file line, and then I will dismiss people to wherever they're choosing to go. So don't ask me any questions right now. Just wait when I ask you to. Samantha Mack and Neve, please join our lines. Boys, what did I ask you to do? I just did it. No. Girls, what did I ask you to do? I'm still waiting. I don't think I asked you guys to just cluster in random groups and chat. I said please make a silent single file line. All eyes up here. Raise your hand silently if you would like to go to open library today. You can continue your hour of code work.
I don't remember.
Okay, hands down. Hands down. Hands down, back to 0. We're going to try this again. I'm going to ask a question. You don't respond for other people. You're all responsible for your own selves and where you are supposed to be going. So Kayla, Ramel, you're not in charge of where Latrice goes. She is. And if she makes a mistake, then she will deal with the consequences, right? If Latrice makes a mistake, who has to deal with the consequences? Okay, so you don't need to tell her what to do. She makes her own choices. Whether they're the right or the wrong choices is up to her.
sorry.
I said sorry.
Maybe you need to get Alright, is there anywhere else that you guys need to go as far as I think meeting club is canceled.
Outside.
I know, but we're the little
They leave